The UK, a country known for its rich history and bustling cities, now stands at the forefront of a critical global challenge: sustainability. As the world faces unprecedented environmental changes, the UK is taking bold steps to secure a greener future. This journey is fueled by innovative companies, government initiatives, and a collective drive to achieve net zero emissions. In today's programme, Executive TV will explore the heart of the UK's sustainability movement, uncovering the challenges, successes, and what the path forward looks like. Ashcourt Group is a leading supplier of construction materials and waste management solutions.
So the Ashcourt Group started in its current form really from 2009. That was mainly based on construction. From there we've developed our aggregates, our concrete and our waste recycling facilities to offer a pretty much complete service. We complement these with our plant, fuels, logistics and highways divisions, as well as the original construction and development, to allow us to offer a unique package to the industry. The group has some core key values that drive all our activities, sustainability being really the main focus. We build all our arms off that. We've developed over the past few years as we've grown to really be a leader in the environmental and sustainable factors. Whilst we have several targets that link to that, we also have the commercial, and so far it's been very successful. We beat them and we want to continue to beat them as the group further develops.
Clearworld helps different companies and clients achieve their net zero goals through the use of new technologies and innovations.
So the history of Clearworld started in 2019. It was before a lot of the really strong net zero messaging that we see these days, but that was the whole target, was to try and work and create this net zero roadmap towards 2050. It was my idea from an energy point of view that it was very important that businesses out there embrace this messaging.
Values that drive Clearworld. Clearworld's aim is to work with our clients, one, obviously to make them greener, more energy efficient, and our main purpose is to get a building working to its absolute best performance. So we focus on the energy that you don't see. Everybody looks at the things that you do see. We like to work on the bits that you don't see. We will work to get a building working to its absolute best performance, and by doing so we will monitor and put in controls that will reduce a building's energy and make it work more efficiently. That's our overriding aim.
PB Design develops a full range of battery chargers, UPS, batteries and system services for all types of AC and DC standby applications.
The original founder-owner, Paul Britton, hence the name PB, founded the company. He was kind of an entrepreneurial type. He was a mechanical electrical contractor, worked for other companies. From what I understand, he got made redundant. And so from that, he decided, well, if I'm going to be redundant and need to start somewhere, I'll start doing what I was doing for someone else for myself. And that's how it started, always doing mechanical stroke electrical equipment for either emergency lighting, so that's your lights that come on when the power goes out, say in a hospital, or other similar kind of electrical type building services equipment. We have core values, which were voted on by the team. So respect, fairness, teamwork, quality, very important. Honesty and positivity. And what that really means is about looking at it not from what we do. Okay, I'm an engineer, I have to design this circuit, but when I'm designing that circuit, am I involving the team? Am I keeping a positive outlook on things? Am I thinking about the quality? The goal is to live those values every day in what we do.
The UK government has set an ambitious goal to reach net zero by 2050 and must help companies reach this goal. From subsidies for renewable energy projects to stricter regulations on emissions, the government's support is a vital pillar in the country's transition to net zero.
Our commitment to making net zero happen is, again, is really to support businesses on their journey to achieve their carbon reduction and help them on their roadmap and their journey in lots of different ways that we can go about doing that with them. Fundamentally, our aim is to look at how they're using their energy. What we have in terms of helping business on net zero, we're working with clients to support them on their journey. They will already have initiatives in place. They probably set some goals and targets, and we're there to actually add additional benefit to that. We're very niche and very bespoke in what we do, and that's what our clients like.
I believe that the main challenges with the transition to net zero are financial. I believe that there's a lot of businesses out there that sit and look at energy. Instead of them making a decision and say, look, we're going to do this, then it's easier for them to sort of protect their bottom line.
We believe the government could do more to help to work towards a more sustainable UK by tackling one of the issues, such as the huge delays getting a connection to the national grid. For example, in the context of our wind turbine, the planning process can be lengthy, and even after planning is obtained, we can be looking at a wait of several years before a suitable grid connection is made available. If additional support is made available to businesses like ours, we believe the government's target of net zero by 2050 is achievable. It is something businesses like ours would support wholeheartedly, but at the moment incentives are lacking. For example, it costs us more to run and operate our fleet of electric HGVs than it does our diesel wagons. So until things change, uptake from the wider business community will continue to be slow. In order to reach the 2050 target, the government could offer more support to businesses like ours, such as offering us better tax incentives to help us achieve the net zero. Another thing the government could do to help businesses like ours achieve the net zero target would be to fast track the planning process for renewables projects. In the context of our wind turbine, not only to expedite the planning, but to guarantee us a grid connection in a much quicker time frame.
Over the past 5 years, there's been a huge amount of noise around electric vehicles. Ashcott Group really based themselves on the way of wanting to be at the forefront, set the benchmark. We were an early adopter of 2 skip trucks, electric skip trucks. We're in an area which can be gridlocked, so the mileage on these trucks are not particularly high, and it really fits into what the electric skip trucks can offer us. We've further developed it with additions of other vehicles that are electric, again, still trying to do the shorter hauls. We see it as a distinct advantage over our competitors that we have trucks out there doing the same job, producing a lot less greenhouse emissions. As we further develop and as the technology gets better, and we are always limited by the technology, we will continue to invest and further develop our green credentials.
We believe the government's target for net zero is achievable. What the date is, I don't think really matters. You need to set a target that makes and drives people towards a goal. And if you relax the target and choose a different date, then everybody reacts or relaxes the focus or the impetus to deliver at that time. Our belief is what the government can do to help companies such as ours to meet their net zero goals is to support, not necessarily through tax or reduction or anything like that, but just apprenticeships, Innovate UK, grant funding, joint funding between us and universities, us and other companies. Also grant funding around working with other countries, because you might get best practice or find out things for that. I would say the main enabler for companies like ourselves to help the net zero transition is government funding, competitive, so you pick the right company doing the right thing, a funding pool that allows us to push new ideas and new technology and new innovation forward.
Renewable energy is at the heart of the UK's sustainability drive. The country is rapidly expanding its capacity for wind and solar power, with renewables now accounting for a significant portion of the national energy mix.
The Ashcott Group is committed to becoming sustainable, and part of that is we have to protect our local and built environments. We have invested heavily and will continue to invest heavily in the new innovations that are coming through, trying to lead our customers and suppliers on the path that we believe will give us a sustainable future. What used to be a bit of a fad word, sustainability, it has really changed over the past few years. It's very key on our tenders, it's very key for how we project ourselves to our customers that are now invested into it. The industry has changed and will continue to change, and further investment and further optics of how we are continuing to improve our sustainability and our carbon footprint is really being seen and really being taken notice of by all our major customers. As part of the growth that we have at Ashcott, we have looked internally. We have looked at our environmental impact, we've looked at our CO2 emissions and even our energy consumption. We've moved to the renewables, we continue to invest in new technology that reduces our global impact. The education piece is really what our customers and other people need to look at. We all know the global impact of what is currently happening to the world. The adoptions to large-scale renewable facilities and energy has been a bit of a slow uptake. Whilst there's been a lot of interest, a lot of publications around them, the investments have not really been placed. We want to put ourselves at the forefront of what we do and how we develop. This links into our goals, it links into our future aspects. And from those aspects, we actually trust that our customers and suppliers that see us operating on these borders will follow and become more invested themselves.
The industry, in terms of energy reduction, energy solutions, what we should be doing to get to net zero, I think is really strong. Probably on two things. One, I think, the awareness of where we are in the planet, and in terms of obviously, not just us, but all countries and the G8s, etc. We've got a goal to get to net zero. We are in Ireland. We've got excess opportunity to bring in wind. Solar is something that we are doing a lot more now, and I think there's a lot more of a belief in businesses and people, more importantly, that we should be doing something. For years, it was sort of the proverbial, it was if you were purchasing energy, it was buying pens and pencils. Now it matters. We've seen from the statistics over the years, obviously, what's happening to the environment, to the world. Achieving carbon neutrality, first and foremost, is going to help reduce pollution. That's going to be one of the main drivers to make us, make this planet live longer, make my children, my grandchildren have a better future.
Companies should use our products and solutions, I would say, first and foremost, because they do the job and are designed and engineered to do exactly what they say, and they do it repeatedly, day in and day out for 25 plus years, reliability, and then the quality side. So our existing customers speak for themselves. We've been around for 45 years. We've got those blue chip companies that have used us for 25 plus years. They wouldn't still be using our stuff if our stuff didn't deliver.
Embracing sustainability brings a host of benefits for businesses, the community, and the planet.
The main challenges with the transition to net zero is around the balance of energy in the grid. We're not really involved in that with our standby power product, other than our standby solution is supporting the energy mix, being wind, renewables, and transitioning. So that's part of that. But the challenge is getting the right balance of energy at the right time. You might know or might not know that wind farms get paid to spin or be turned off. So you think, right, I've paid for the wind farm, I'm paying my energy bill, why am I paying for the wind farm to turn off? Well, that's because sometimes the grid doesn't have enough capacity to take the wind energy, so you have to pay the person that paid the money that should be able to put all of that energy from the wind farm onto the grid. You would then have to pay them to turn the wind farm off. The big challenge is getting the right energy in the right place at the right time. So what you're hearing about now is a lot of battery energy storage. So that's basically saying, okay, now instead of turning the wind off, you actually just put that unused energy, the grid doesn't need it, you store it in a battery, and then at another time, when the grid does need the energy, but the wind might not be blowing, you then pull the energy from out of the battery. We believe businesses should aim to be more sustainable because one, it's good for us. We all live on the same earth and the same world and only have the air we need to breathe. And secondly, you can do it. We're a small manufacturer, so we're 50 people, less than 10 million turnover, and we've got 150 kilowatts on the roof. We've gone all LED, we've done all these things, and it hasn't really affected our bottom line. Does it cost money? Yes. But does it really change our profitability of our building, 1,000 to 2,000 products a year out of this factory? No. So it's just the right thing to do.
In our recent developments and our expansion of our renewable energy sources, we can switch off the grid. We'll become less reliant on having to go and take power off the grid, predominantly using fossil fuels. The investment and the cost of this is extremely high, and the return is over several years, but it puts us uniquely at a position where we know the cost of our energy for the years to come. We're not relying on the market, we're not producing the emissions of the greenhouse gases. We are providing a much greener, safer and hopefully better product.
The companies that are struggling mainly with this transition to net zero, those that are more than in the SME market, the small to medium enterprise. I think the larger corporates have got plenty of scope to deliver, and they've put a lot of messaging out in their CSR. Where smaller companies, it's all about bottom line, and it's nearly about survival in a lot of instances.
Innovation is the driving force behind the UK's sustainability efforts. From cutting-edge technologies to pioneering advancements in waste management solutions, the UK continues to develop its green strategy.
We see the industry developing over the next few years by considering alternatives to standard products which haven't changed for years. For example, ready-mix concrete. A key component used to make concrete is cement, but we've already participated in trials of a reduced carbon concrete alternative product which uses cement which is produced using less carbon emissions.
I believe innovation is the way forward. It's key that clients embrace technology, But if you use any building as an example, there are so many areas that are of the unknown, how things work, what information can be got out of them. Most equipment these days has technology behind it, which that data can be brought and it can be processed and it can be used for positive means. The struggles really and the challenges of trying to introduce innovation is people understanding it and also embracing the fact that technology is moving on at a pace. There's always the skeptics out there that don't believe that things will work in a certain way. But ultimately, we need to break through that.
The importance of continued innovation is actually the most important, because from where EV chargers or standby power equipment was, say, 2 years ago, it's changing. And if you don't have the newer technology using newer circuits, lower energy consumption, providing information to the user, then quite simply, the industry won't purchase our kit. At a fundamental level, both solutions, the standby power and the EV, does the job. It charges the battery or charges the car battery. If you don't evolve continually, then there's little features or little nice extras that other people might have that you don't have. Innovations that are developing in the industry that are most exciting, I would say, is around vehicle to grid, or I'll call it everything to everything. So in the energy industry, it's all about having the right energy in the right place at the right time. So that means for solar, it might be blowing, but if the grid can't take the energy, then you don't have any place for that energy to go. So you need to go to energy storage. Likewise, when you're driving your car, you're using the energy from the battery, that's fine. But when you get to the other end, you still have energy left in your battery. You might be on charge, you might be plugged in. You've now got a battery that could be putting energy back into the grid that's not. So it's all around the innovations to be able to make, I call it, everything to everything. So there's this acronym vehicle to grid or vehicle to everything. Well, I think everything to everything. What if the solar on our roof could go anywhere it's needed to be in the grid? What if a wind farm could go anywhere it needed to be in the grid? So it's making that, having that technology around software and ecosystem that allows any energy anywhere in the country to be available for any place else in the country. Innovation to PB Design is looking at the market and deciding where is there a synergy between what we already do and what the market needs. There's a start of the market moving a certain direction for a new product around usually sustainability, because that's what we're in, either grid substations or sustainability. And then us quickly, because we're small, we're employee owned, we own ourselves basically, and we can move quickly. We're not a big bureaucratic type company. So it's moving quickly and taking advantage of what the market shows as being the next thing that might take off.
As the UK looks to the future, the commitment to sustainability remains unwavering. Companies are optimistic in reaching their sustainability goals and advancing the green agenda.
The Ashcott Group continually looks forward. What is the next big thing? What is the next exciting thing? What is going to be most beneficial to the local environment and the built environment? We're willing and open to invest and spend time learning about these new innovations. Although the word renewable has been around for several years now, the adoption is still relatively new. If we don't continue to innovate, we will not move forward. We will not hit the targets that we need to meet as a, not as a company, not as a region, but as a country, to actually ensure the future for everyone else. We at the Ashcott Group really rely on our credentials and the local and built environment, and as part of that we want to protect that. We will continue to invest heavily and develop our understanding, our customers and our suppliers' understanding of what is required for us to continue to decarbonise and actually eventually hit our long-term range and goals of being carbon neutral. As with anything else, new developments in how waste management and disposals are actually done and how they're done properly will continue to develop. These are all educational pieces. We have invested heavily in our training and education, and we've brought in specialist consultants to really develop Ashcott's understanding of how it needs to be done and how it can be improved. The system is not perfect by any means, but whilst we continue to strive to really deliver a better sustainable product, we are finding new and innovative ways to ensure our compliance and actual end benefit from the waste disposals.
Over the coming years, we see Ashcott developing further and making further commitment towards our sustainability targets. For us, this looks like replicating past successful green projects, such as the duplication of wash plants, which we've now ordered for other Ashcourt sites. We can also replicate some renewables projects such as the wind turbine, and we are already exploring installing these on other company sites. As an innovative leader in all industries which we operate, we hope to influence our competitors, customers and suppliers and help them further their commitments towards a more sustainable future.
I see Clearwell developing over the next number of years into a business that is technology-led, that is working with a large number of high-end clients, but also to create that understanding and embracing technologies to actually, one, save energy, and two, give them information that they can make decisions a bit based on.
The future is really exciting in energy. Big data is a phrase that most of us are fully aware of now. In the past, we couldn't plan properly. You've always got to have a starting point. To get to on any journey, whether that's via road, whether that's via energy consumption, you've got to have a starting point, and that starting point is always data. The amount of data, the way we can access data, the way that we can interpret and manage data is only going to get better because technology has moved on so much in the years. In the next 5-10 years, it's going to increase even more. It's becoming more accessible. It's becoming more informative. Hopefully, we're going to go from strength to strength. You've always got to evolve. Certainly, when we're in a sector that's always going to be there, we're always going to need energy. How we manage and how we work to reduce that from a renewable perspective and obviously just, from a day-to-day perspective, hopefully is going to support what Clearwell do. There's always going to be challenges. We've got to evolve and we've got to innovate our solutions.
What the UK needs to do to be on a sustainable future is in line with what the government has been saying, and that is all around the heat or the energy networks converting from your traditional fuel-based economy to an electrically distributed. Now, you still have power stations, you'll still have the odd gas plant that has fuel, but if you convert everything to electricity, you have to increase the grid and invest in it, but long term, energy is more efficient as electricity than it is as burning a fuel. And so that's what needs to be done. So that's converting heat to electric, that's converting cars to electric, that's converting, all of those networks that use raw fossil fuels need to go to where if the source of creating electricity is still a fossil fuel for a bit, that's fine. But let's remove that interim step so that all of the transport and all of the users of the energy are on an electric network. The standby power market will still need our products as we produce now, but there'll be more focus on the efficiency of those products. So our current technology isn't inefficient, but it's sort of in that, I would call it 85 to maybe 85% efficiency in how it's converting the power. So somewhere in that conversion process, you're losing 50% of the energy. Now, we're not a big power plant, so not such a big deal. But when you think we do 2,000 of these a year, and we've done that for 40 years, that's a lot of 2,000s times 40 years of 15% inefficient, and they all run in different buildings, different substations. So what we believe is the technology that's at 95% efficiency that's used in electrical vehicle chargers, that power conversion will come into what we do in our traditional business. And that's the whole reason we chose, one, to choose a technology that used our people that already build our existing product, that can build a new product, and also choose a market that we can generate sales, but also go along that innovation curve.
With continued innovation, robust policies, and the collective effort of businesses and communities, the UK is on a path towards a greener and resilient future. The challenges are significant, but so too are the opportunities. The choices made today will shape the world of tomorrow. A world where sustainability is not just a goal, but also a reality.